Okay, so in this video, we're gonna put together our haunted house tea light little holder thing. And that is what the final product looks like, as you can see in the photo. And we're gonna begin by just talking about the actual haunted house and how all the little design elements go together and how I actually put it together. So again, with this piece, because there's so much detail, you can totally glue these together using standard glue. What I opted to do with this one is actually use spray adhesive because of all the detail. Now, before we do anything, we do need to take and glue our vellum onto one of the layers. Okay, so however you want to go about doing that, this piece here just covers up these areas here. Just make sure that you've got them out to these little sections here, that you're covering up these cutouts, okay? And this section covers up this top part. We separated it into two because we know that a lot of you cannot get your hands on 12 by 12 vellum, and 8.5 by 11 is more common, so we've got this split up. So you're gonna glue that on like so, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to glue this piece right over it, on top of it, to sturdy up the piece, but also to kind of sandwich the vellum. Okay, so however you want to do that is totally up to you. There's no right or wrong way. Again, after I got my vellum down, I just took my spray adhesive. I had this on a piece of newspaper, and the whole thing was nice and covered, and I did my best to just get it aligned and glued down, okay? Now, I would recommend getting a spray glue that's repositionable so that it doesn't grab right away. Otherwise, if you don't get it in the right spot the first time, it may not come off. So if you do get spray adhesive, make sure that you get the repositionable type, okay? Now, what I wanna do is just briefly go over the design elements that go on our haunted house. I'm gonna put this one up here in the corner so that you guys can kind of see it as I go along here. But once you have your house all glued together with the vellum, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you where all these pieces go. Okay, the little door, you can just look at the photo and you should be able to figure this out, but I'm just gonna go through it briefly. Okay, that gets glued down there. And then I'm just gonna go through these pieces in no particular order. This little roof piece gets glued here, and I actually took and pop dotted this to give it some dimension. You can glue it down flat if you'd like, but I just took some pop dots and put like 2 or 3 behind it, just to kind of make it stand out a little bit. And this piece goes there. These papers, by the way, are from DCWV's new Halloween line. We've got this piece here that goes over the window and the door, and there's also this piece here that goes right there. Okay, we've got a little copper chimney that goes there, and we've got some cute windows here. These are perforated, okay, so there are score lines so that you can kind of theoretically close the blinds, or the shutters I should say, and that gets glued there, okay? And then we've got 2 other windows here. Those again have little score marks so that you can bend them. And you'll notice in my photography for this, I hit it with some light off the side, and it casted some really cool shadows because of the little shutters. So it's a really spooky little piece, and I love how it looks when it's all done. And it's not 3-dimensional, so it doesn't take forever, doesn't take up as much time, and it's probably easier to store too. So then we've got this piece here, and that just gets glued on down here like so. We've got this magical little jack-o'-lantern that gets glued on top of the window piece. And then we've got this piece here that goes up on top. It's a little copper trim, okay? And then we have, we've got this little roof piece, okay? And this one's real simple. You just bend everything at the score marks, okay, like so. bend that down. Okay, just a real simple piece. There's one little triangular tab right there, as you can see. So we're just gonna put a little bit of glue on this little triangular piece here and fold it under and just hold that down until it's nice and dry. Give it just a few seconds. Okay, and then we've got these two little flaps here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put glue on there like so, get it all the way out to the edge. And we're gonna glue this piece just right to the door, right there like so. Okay, that's gonna give that piece a little bit of dimension. And then we've got these two pieces, these little bats. The back goes on the top, or behind the copper piece, and then that gets glued right onto the front there. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the little embellishments for our haunted house. Okay, once we have this done, we're just gonna simply glue it to the frame. And I'm gonna show you how that goes together right now, actually. So I'm gonna put this out of the way. Okay. And let's begin by constructing our base, which is actually very simple. And it's made up of these pieces here. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold these at the score marks. I was trying to say marks and lines at the same time. Okay. And we're going to just put a little bit of glue on this piece here and fold that over. Get that glued down. And then I like to fold it in half and just kind of put it on top of itself just to make sure that everything's nice and aligned. Okay, then I can make my way over to the other side and fold this tab under. I'm gonna pop a little bit of glue on this tab here and just push that down. And again, because these pieces here are the same length, they should sit on top of each other perfectly flush, with the exception of that little piece there, obviously, because it's cut away. Okay, so we've got the beginning of our little base here. It's pretty easy to put together. Okay, now we want to go ahead and get all the tabs down on one side. And we've got three pieces that look like this. One of them has a little L on it. L is for liner. And we're going to put some glue on these tabs here. The liner piece is just to help us get the shape of what it is we're creating. So I'm going to take my little liner piece and I'm just going to squeeze it on in there like so, and just kind of work my finger around, making sure that it grips. Okay, just go over it one more time. And then we can go ahead and put the top and the bottom on. Pretty simple. Okay, looks like this side didn't take. So I'm gonna go back over it one more time, just make sure that I get enough glue in there. Okay, that should be good. And we can go ahead and put glue on these tabs here. Now you've got two attempts to get a good looking top or bottom, and whichever one looks the best is probably the one that you want facing up. Okay, so just make sure that you got enough glue on there, and then work some towards the edge there to get a nice crisp, clean edge. Okay, and then texture side up. I'm gonna flap these up a little bit so as I push down, it grabs more of the surface area of that piece. Okay, so that is pretty good. Let me scooch that in a little bit. Okay, and just kind of run your fingers along the edge, make sure everything is nice. Okay, and then we can go ahead and put glue on the other side to close this piece up. There we go. And let's just pop that right on top. All right, so there's the base, and next we can begin working on our little structure piece. So that is made up of these pieces here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab these two pieces here and just go ahead and just fold anything with tabs. Just get them kind of ready. And then we're going to take this piece and do the same thing. Just want to fold all the tabs. Okay, and as you can imagine, this piece is kind of going to go on like this. Okay, so the way that I found to do this the easiest is just to kind of have both pieces flat and just begin gluing piece by piece. So right now I'm just kind of matching up the top here where I just pointed, and I'm just pushing that over. Okay, and I'm going to fold it on itself just to make sure that I've got a nice clean seam. It's nice and lined up. Okay, and then I can go ahead and rotate it. I'm going to lift this tab up, put a little bit of glue on it, and push that down. I can kind of look from the other side here just to make sure that I've got it nice and lined up. Push down. I'm going to bring this in, put some glue on this tab, and bring that in. And just kind of peek from this side here, just to make sure you've got it nice and lined up. And that looks great. Okay, so that was easy. And we're simply going to repeat that same process on the other side. And this little contraption that we're putting together here is simply the little base that you're going to put all your tea lights in. So it's pretty snazzy. All right, so I'm going to lay that down like so. Just get the top part of it lined up as best as you can. There we go, like that. And I'm just going to put some glue on this tab here and fold that over. I'm going to fold this over completely, make sure I've got a nice seam. That looks good. Okay, and I can just kind of move this over. I'm going to put glue on this tab here, just like so. I'm going to push that down, kind of flip it around just to make sure that I've got it nice and lined up there. Perfect. And then finally, this last tab here. You can see that. I'm going to put glue on this guy here and get him lined up perfectly. Okay. So that is nice. All right. And at this point, what we can do is go ahead and glue this piece on. Okay, I'm just folding the tabs over just to get them set. And I'm going to go ahead and put glue on these three. Okay, and just kind of drop that into place. Make sure everything's nice and aligned up there. Get that to hold. That's beautiful. And then just work your way down here and here. Perfect. And then you can kind of lift this up a little bit and put glue on these three remaining tabs. And just get that glued down. Just like that. I'm kind of going a little fast here because I just want to show you how this all works. When I was working on the final version, I put on some Halloween movies and some Halloween tunes, and I just took my time, got into my Zen mode, and just really enjoyed myself. So all that's left to do is put glue on these tabs here and get your bottom glued into place. Okay, so I'm just doing that just to kind of get its initial spot, and then I'll lift it up and just kind of work my way around, making sure that everything's good. And the cool thing is that this is cut open. You can get your finger into the little corners there. Okay, and then all that's left to do is glue this top piece on. Okay, and just pop the top on. Okay, and at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to glue this piece onto this piece. It's going to create your nice structure for your candles. Okay, so just do your best to get that centered. Okay. Nice. All right, so we've got our basic structure set up, and let's just pretend that this is your final house, okay? And what we're gonna do is, well, before we do anything else, you're gonna take these little strips and just get these glued into place. One goes on the front, and two of these smaller ones, they go on the side here, okay? That's a little decorative piece, plus it's gonna help you with the alignment of the actual house. Okay, so you get those glued on the side, and that's flush with the bottom, like so. Okay, and then once you have that glued, I'm gonna just put this on so you can see it as a reference. Okay, just get that glued into place, just like that. Okay, the haunted house, you're gonna have all of your decorative stuff on there. What you wanna do then is just go ahead and glue it to the front there. And what you can do actually, because everything has been strategically placed, you can go ahead and put glue on basically this whole thing here. Get as much as you can on there just to make sure that it holds. And you're going to glue your house on like so. Okay, just like that. All right, so your house is all glued together. All that's really left to do at this point is mount your little jack-o'-lanterns. Okay, this one goes like this, and you can just glue that to the bottom corner of the bottom of the base. And this one, same thing, just glue it to the bottom of the base there. And finally, we have these little bats here. And what we did was I took actually some ribbon that has the little wire inside of it, and I took the wire out of the ribbon, I stripped it out, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna take two of the same sized bats and glue them back to back. And what I did here was I actually sandwiched the wire between the two pieces, okay? I used a little bit of tape to hold the wire. Actually, no, I didn't. I just glued everything together with the wire pretty much going all the way up through between the eyes of the little bat, and I just glued that together. And then I actually didn't even use hot glue. I just taped it to the back of this, okay? And I took that wire and I curled it around a small dowel to give it that springy look that you see here. So that's pretty much it for the haunted house. And then, you know, when you're done, you've got room for a tea light here, a tea light here, a tea light here, and then a larger tea light inside. So hope you love the project, and I can't wait to see yours. Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.